Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Williams Grove Speedway here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, where tonight the GForce Racing League Renegades division, presented by Strickland GM in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, gets ready to go racing here tonight from Williams Grove. My name is Steve Ovens, going to be calling all the action for you here tonight. Renegades division of the GForce Racing League, the A League of the GForce Racing League. They've already run 2 races tonight. Our Raiders, essentially the rookies division, where we qualified the top 5 cars to run in our B Series Rebels division. We've taken the top 5 out of that Rebels series to come into the Renegades division, which is broadcast here tonight live on GForce TV. Getting ready to line up here for heat race number 1. And we'll get ready to tell you about who is going to be here in this one. Going away from the pole here in heat race number 1 is going to be the 71 of John Hine. John Hine going to take it away from position number 1. He's going to start alongside the 661, the driver out of Marietta, California, the Yoo-Hoo Chocolate Drink. Coast to Coast Racing ride, that is Terry Landis. Row 2 to the inside. In car number 51 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, that's Jonathan Short. The Coast to Coast Racing Epsilon Sprint Wrap sponsored 51 to his outside. Aboard car number 193 out of St. Paul, Minnesota, the Vanderbilt Race Cars. Buyoil.com, Wagaman Brothers 02 Designs ride. That is Brandon Schultz starting to his outside. In car number 78 out of Cedro Willie, Washington, the Radine Racing Sim Racing Concepts. All in construction and landscaping ride. That is Jack Clevenger. Row number 3 on the outside is going to be the 7 of Shane Kelly. Shane Kelly aboard the 7 in your final row here. In car number 88 is going to be Shane Pierce. Shane Pierce, the 88 out of Waynfleet, Ontario, Canada. The SliderBeSlid.com, Willard Concrete and Trucking 02 Design sponsored ride. Into his outside aboard car number 14 out of Hamilton, Ontario. The Oshweekend Speedway Coca-Cola Tradition sponsored a Fernberg Motorsports ride. The Turn 2 cameraman out at the Oshweekend Speedway, that is Greg Boydell. So that is your lineup here for heat race number 1. It's going to be John Hine that is going to lead them to green. Hine and Terry Landis. Terry Landis, who could really use a good run here tonight at a track that he knows well as a crew member. Longtime crew member for the Donnie Kreitz team out of Central Pennsylvania. Pretty well-known team down here in the Central PA racing scene. Getting ready to bring him off turn number 4. Green lights are going to come on. We are racing here in heat race number 1. Hine is going to lead him off of turn number 2. The battle is on for 3 as Jonathan Short, that inside lane, really moved up well. Oh, Landis, we talked about it right in the lineup. Guy that could just use a break. And he did not get a good one there. He is all sideways here on the front straightaway, and I think that's going to do it here for Terry Landis in this heat race. Hine, Short, Brandon Schultz, right now your top 3. Field working down the back straightaway. It's Hine, Short, Schultz, and now Shane Kelly. Shane Kelly has moved up quite well. Started 6th. He's currently 4th and in a transfer spot. And he has got plenty of distance right now on the 5th place car, Jack Clevenger out of Washington. So John Hine down the back straightaway. Brings it off at turn number 4, and he is going to lead lap number 4. Halfway home, 4 laps in and 4 to go. Hine out of St. Louis, Missouri, the Cruise Shop sponsored 71. out of the Parabellum Motorsports camp. And right now, he has got a couple of hot dogs chasing him down. Here comes Shorty. Jonathan Short in car number 51, the driver out of Indiana. Driving that Absalom Sprint Wraps number 51, coming down the line to put lap number 6 on the board. 6 in and 2 to go for Hine. As Short has closed the gap, and he looks to be just a little bit quicker in the entry of the corners, but can't seem to make it pay off as he slid up just a little bit that time. So did Hine. Here comes Short down to the bottom. Hine by a half a car length to turn number 1, but you've got a new race leader on the corner entry. It's Jonathan Short. Hine will take the lead right back down the back straightaway going into turn number 3. Is it going to be Hine or is it going to be Short? Hine to the outside, Short down to the bottom, and it's going to be John Hine. Hine picks up the win here in heat race number 1. Short's in there for 2, Brandon Schultz 3, and Shane Kelly will come home 4. After Jack Clevenger ran him down there in the closing laps. So that will bring us up to heat race number 2. And we'll tell you how they're going to line up here. Scotty Edwards going to start on the pole here in car number 23. Out of Kansas City, Missouri, the Radine Racing Sim Racing Concept sponsored machine. Starting to his outside aboard car number 56. Driver comes to us out of Livingston, Montana. The NRM Dynamics United Dirt Sim Racing Association No Crybaby Special, number 56. That is David Flick. Row 2 to the inside. Driver that took the final transfer spot out of the Rebels race earlier tonight with a huge come-from-behind top 5 finish. Got in a wreck in the second half of the race. Drove all the way back through the field, which really comes as no surprise here at Williams Grove. Ryan Beagle, the big dog, out of Victoria, Ontario, week in and week out at Williams Grove. Just a solid runner every time we come here. Beagle's going to start third to his outside. Another transfer out of the Rebels division tonight. That's Garrett Pepiet, the Michigan Madman aboard car number 47. He'll start fourth. Row number 3 to the inside aboard car number 90 is going to be Jeff Fitzpatrick out of Blaine, Minnesota, in the Vanderbilt Race Cars team car. Starting to his outside. Didn't have the best qualifying effort here tonight aboard the 30 out of Aylmer, Ontario. The Stephen Goldner Racing ride, that is Stephen Goldner. Starting in your final row aboard car number 69, another one of our transfers out of the Rebels division tonight. That is Aiden Young, and starting to his outside aboard car number 36 is Barry Goldner. Goldner comes to us out of St. Thomas, Ontario. So there you have a look at them. 8 cars, 8 laps the distance. Top 4 go to the feature. Top 4 have been inverted. Scotty Edwards going to bring us down to the green flag, and the green flag is out for heat race number 2. Down the back stretch they go into turn number 3, and it is Edwards out to the early advantage. As you watch, oh, look out, one car's around. I think that was Pepiet. I think Pepiet got around in the 47. He's going to fall all the way to the back of the pack, and that is going to make a long road to hoe for him for the rest of this heat race. He may have to come through the alphabet soup tonight to try and get into our 40-lap A main. Field working down the back straightaway into turn number 3, and look at that shot on the cushion cam through turns 3 and 4. Awesome camera angles here. Brad Ovens doing a great job with 3.9 Productions tonight. broadcasting live for GForce TV. You're watching live coverage of the GForce Racing Leagues, and we're going to take a look inside the cockpit with the big dog, Ryan Beagle. And listen to him as he goes into the corner. Oh yeah, baby, they're on the gas. This track's got a lot of moisture in it. You're gonna see that the pitch of that noise and the engine sound change as we go to the feature and this track starts to slick off. You won't believe the difference you'll hear in the feature later tonight. Good point of reference right there. Field storms down the back straightaway, and it has been Scotty Edwards since the drop of the green flag here. We talked about Terry Landis being a guy that needs to catch a break here sometime soon. Put Scotty Edwards in that camp as well, as Edwards has just seemingly not had a lot of luck to speak of here in the GForce Racing League of late, and now they are battling it out for the top spot. Edwards holds on to it, but Flick and the 30 of Goldner are there. And they're bringing the 84 of Ryan Beagle with them. Down the back stretch and under the bridge for the final time as they race into turn number 3. Edwards is going to hold on to pick up the win. Scotty Edwards will come down. Oh, look out, crash right there at the checkered flag. But I don't think the top 4 changed. They did not. They stayed the top 4 cars, still the same top 4 as they ran through 3 and 4 that time, but a little bit of a mix-up there at the end. Scotty Edwards in the 23 out of Kansas City, Missouri will take the win here in heat race number 2. That'll bring us to heat race number 3. Got 4 big heat races for you here tonight. Let's tell you about heat race number 3. Starting on the pole, car number 97 out of Bixby, Oklahoma, the Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts, Premier Door Company, sponsored machine. That is Brendan Lacey. Brendan Lacey aboard the 97. He'll start alongside the 07 of Preston Cranmer, the Alet Outlaw out of Alet, Virginia, in the Coast to Coast Racing GForce Racing League. 3-9 Productions, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, number 07. Row 2 to the inside aboard car number 157. Driver comes to us out of Rochester, Minnesota. The Vandyville Race Cars, BuyOil.com, Wagaman Brothers, O2 Design, sponsored machine. That's Jesse Bandy. And starting to his outside aboard car number 110, his teammate out of the Vandyville Race Cars camp out of Rochester, Minnesota. The BuyOil.com, O2 Design, sponsored machine of Trevor Graveau. Jeffrey Barker comes to us out of Brewerton, New York. In car number 513, the Rivals Racing League sponsored machine, starting to his outside. Aboard car number 91, out of Welland, Ontario, Canada, it's the Rose City Rocket. The RC Delivery, North-South Motorsports on the Edge wraps ride of Derek Moore. Fast Lane Snook aboard the 123, going to take it away from position number 7, and he will start alongside nobody. So 7 cars here, 8 laps is the distance. Again, we will take the top 4 finishers directly to tonight's A-Main. And the top 4 cars for the start of this race have been inverted. So Trevor Graveau, the 110, your fast time trialer of this group. And have a look at that in-car onboard cam. Riding along here with Preston Cranmer in the 07. The vice president of racing operations for the GForce Racing League. Get a great shot there on Brendan Lacey's number 97. See that nice in the picture, Radine Racing. Starter has the green flag in hand. Points at the field off turn 4. He should know better than to point. He's got to wave that green flag. Green is out here for heat race number 3. Down the back straightaway and underneath the famous bridge here as they race by Beer Hill over in turn number 3. Off turn number 4, and it's going to be Brendan Lacey leading lap number 1 here of heat race number 3. We've got one more heat race coming at you at the conclusion of this one, but it is Bixby, Oklahoma's Brendan Lacey out front, Lacey going to take it right through the middle there as you ride on board with your quick time trialer of this group, Trevor Gerbeau, aboard the 110. Cranmer runs into driver out of Virginia. So we've got Oklahoma, Virginia, Minnesota. And right now running in fourth is the lone driver in the top four out of Canada, Derek Moore, out of Welland, Ontario, Canada. As everybody sorts out single file here, and it looks like the battle is going to be on for the transfer spot, as we've got a little bit of a battle going on here for second as well. Gerbeau's trying to find a way by Cranmer. Down the backstretch they go as your top three start to pull away from your fourth and final transfer car. That's a new driver in the top four. Lane Snook has taken over the fourth spot. Battle continues here for position number 2. Gerbeau and the Fox Shocks 110 brings it off of turn number 2, closes right in on the tail tank of Cranmer. Brad, let's dial up the onboard. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's watch, man. He is trying his hardest to set Cranmer up here for a run at the second spot. Hasn't been able to work, and look how he just drove it into turn number 1. Lets that right rear Hoosier catch the cushion and just rockets down the straightaway. He's going to do the same. He had quite a bit of wheel input there, trying to get it rotated into the corner. White flag is out, presented by 3-9 Productions, and it is for Brennan Lacey. Down the back straightaway, the driver out of Bixby, Oklahoma, aboard car number 97, the Radine Racing Sim Racing Concepts sponsored ride, is going to win heat race number 3. Lacey's in there for the win. Second across the line is Cranmer. Third is Trevor Gerbeau, and fast Lane Snook. Lane Snook aboard the 123 will take that fourth and final transfer spot. So, going to quickly pull up the YouTube page here. We are broadcasting live here on GForce TV. And I see some folks are in here watching our race coverage here tonight. And as we ask you to do each and every time we go live here with GForce TV, we want you to comment in that comment box. We, of course, want you to share the link with your racing friends, whether you caught that link right here on YouTube or whether you caught the link on Facebook. Be sure to share that out. And let us know where you're watching from tonight. I see we've got a good number of viewers in here catching all the action tonight. We've got 3 likes on the page. If you're watching here on YouTube, do me a favor. Before you even tell us where you're watching from, go over and hit that thumbs up button for me. Do me a favor. I want to see just how many people we can get to hit that thumbs up button here before we go green flag racing here in heat race number 4. Go over and hit that thumbs up. Heat race number 4 is on the racetrack. Donovan Ross out of Burlington, Washington, going to take it away from the pole position, the Radine Racing car, to his outside. Aboard car number 110, that is Ross Carinta out of Fisher, Minnesota. The Velocity Race Designs, Easy's Auto, JZI Racing Photos sponsored machine. Row number 2 to the inside will be the 24 of Kyle Moonen out of Lima, Ohio, starting to his outside out of Astoria, Ohio. That is Braden Finsel, so an all-Ohio row in row number 2. Chad Cote, the Pink Flyer out of Welland, Ontario, Canada, the American Dirt Motorsports Dirt Company Media House. Ram Design sponsored machine will start alongside Joe Backus out of Crook, South Dakota. Chris Steele, one of our transfers out of the Rebels division tonight, will start alongside car number 9, that is Joe Dowd. Joe Dowd in the 9. 8 cars, 8 laps the distance. We're going green flag racing. This time off at turn number 4, it'll actually be 7 cars. 7 cars, 8 laps the distance. We are green flag racing here in heat race number 4. Watch them. Here they come at you down the back straightaway. Battle for the lead in turns 3 and 4. Donovan Ross trying to hold on to it, and he will do so. Carinta battling with him there in position number 2, and now here comes Braden Finsel in the F1. Finsel looking, trying to take a peek as they go down into turn number 3. Finsel takes a look down low, trying the slider off turn 4, and that'll work. So Finsel's up to 2. Off turn 2, and it is Donovan Ross. Devo trying to run away with this one in the Devo Transportation. Number 5. Oh, look, one car sideways. That was Kyle Moonen, and he gathered it back in. Doesn't even look like he lost any ground there, which was fortunate for him because he looked like he was in a bad place there for just a hot minute. Gathers it back in, and now he's going to go after Ross Corinta for position number 3. So the Super Moon Graphics, number 24, trying to chase him down into turn number 3. Moonen holds on to the 4 spot. That's your final transfer car as they run. Donovan Ross, Braden Finsel, Ross Corinta, Kyle Moonen as they race down the back straightaway. And Devo is pulling away. 0.8 of a second was the lead last time by. We'll see what it is this time by. As now Finsel gets a little loose off of turn number 4. And he has chopped into the lead. It went from 0.8 of a second now to 69/100ths of a second. So Finsel is closing in, but he's only got about a lap and a quarter left to go here. Think he might just run out of time. White flag is out, presented by 3-9 Productions, and it is for Donovan Ross. Down the back straightaway for the final time, the driver out of Burlington, Washington. The Radine Racing, Sim Racing Concepts, Devo Transport, All In Construction and Landscaping, number 5, it's going to be Donovan Ross. Finsel's in there for 2. Corinta will finish 3. Moonen 4. Chad Cote, Chris Steele, Joe Backus will all have to go to the Alphabet Soup tonight to try and qualify their way into the big show. So we've got some folks that are tuning in, watching the coverage here tonight. We're getting ready to start the Alphabet Soup. C-Main will be our first race of the night coming out. I see we've got Jerry's tuning in here from Woodlawn, Tennessee. Woodlawn, Tennessee. I love it. We've got Baxter in here cheering on Coast to Coast Racing. Don't forget to subscribe to us on our YouTube page, youtube.com/GForce TV. We told you to hit that thumbs up button here on the YouTube video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. And then while you're down there, check out that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, you'll be able to get notifications. So here's the deal. Click on the thumbs up, click subscribe, and as soon as you click subscribe, you're going to have a little bell that pops up next to it. And, I mean, if you're going to have a bell pop up, you might as well ring it, right? So ring the bell while you're there. That'll help you get all the notifications, whether it's your desktop computer, laptop computer, or your mobile device that you're watching from. If you click on that little bell, it'll give you a notification every time we go live here on GForce TV with some live dirt or asphalt racing action. And it'll also let you know when we have on-demand content that gets posted as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff going on almost every day here on GForce TV. So, C-Main is on the racetrack. Here's how they'll go. Chris Steele, Greg Boydell. Going to take it away from row number 1. As we've got Erica chiming in here, rooting on Brandon Schultz. He qualified in through his heat race tonight. Erica watching us from St. Paul, Minnesota. She's a regular here on GForce TV. So Chris Steele, Greg Boydell going to take it away from the front row. Barry Goldner, Derek Moore out of Welland, Ontario, Canada, will make up row number 2. Joe Backus and Terry Landis, couple of coast-to-coast racing cars, going to make up row 3. And out back on the field is going to be the 47, the Michigan Madman. That's Garrett Pepia. So, well, we're up to 8 thumbs up on the video. I want to get to 10. We started at 3. We're up to 8. I want to get it to 10. Keep those thumbs up coming. All right, here we go. C-Main on the racetrack. 10 laps the distance. We're going to take the top 4 to tonight's B-Main. So 3 cars will roll it onto the trailer after this one's over. We're green flag racing. down the back straightaway. And Garrett Pepiot immediately going to work down on the bottom lane. One car sideways up on the top of the corner. I think that was Boydell. And he's going to get drop kicked all the way back to 6th. As now Pepiot and Terry Landis down on the bottom. Here comes old Yoo-Hoo, the driver out of Marietta, California, formerly out of South Carolina. Works off of turn number 4, and he is going to take over the 3 spot, and he's bringing Joe Exotic, Joe Backus with him. Down the back stretch they go. Pepiot takes over the lead, and Pepiot very strong down on the bottom lane. And I think the key tonight to tonight's race is what car is going to be the best on the bottom lane come feature time. And how quickly do they get there? Because there's a lot of cars. I mean, my God, more than half the field on a given night can win here with the GForce Racing League. But the question I think tonight is going to be who's going to be the best car to get to the front first in tonight's feature, because that bottom lane I think is going to be the ticket come 40 lap feature time. We're already starting to see it now as Pepiot leads. Landis in there for 2, Chris Steele running 3, and Joe Backus right now your top 4. Backus is holding on to that 4th and final transfer spot. And if you look out the back of car number 46, he has got Derek Moore trying to close in on him. Backus down the front straightaway in car number 46, and right behind him there, you see the 91 of Derek Moore. Derek Moore out of Welland, Ontario, Canada, the RC delivery, Rose City Rocket, number 91. As he's got Greg Boydell with him. And Moore is going to have to find a way to try and close in on Backus here for that transfer spot. And here's a line I love running here at Williams Grove. I love what Moore just did there. Going in on the outside lane in turns 1 and 2. He's going to try the outside here in 3 and 4. As my good buddy and announcing friend Mel Thomas would say, yeah, the outside's fast, but you live by the sword and you die by the sword. The outside lane's a tough one to reach around, to kind of get grips with, because that outside lane in 3 and 4, you really have to tiptoe around the guardrail on the outside, because you catch the guardrail with that right rear Hoosier, and it's just going to pull you right into the fence. Checkered flag is out. Pepiot doesn't have to worry about it. He's in there for the win. Landis is in there for 2. Chris Steele 3, and Joe Backus will be your 4th and final transfer car out of tonight's C-Main. So just like that, C-Main is in the books, but their job and their work is far from over here tonight. Hey, we reached 10 likes on the video. I love it. 10 thumbs up on the video. Mike Schultz checking in here from Naples, New York, where the Whispering Pines Airbnb getaway is located. That, of course, located quite conveniently within short driving distance of about 4 Central New York racetracks over there in the Finger Lakes area. And if you're not necessarily coming to the Finger Lakes for a race per se, maybe you're coming out to check out some of the Finger Lakes Wine Trail, the Seneca Lake, Cuca Lake Wine Trail. Look up Whispering Pines Getaway Airbnb. They are our sponsors of Championship Night coming up on Monday night, May 18th from Volusia. Brandon Scott checking in. He is rooting for Chris Steele tonight. Thanks for checking in, Brandon. Hope you enjoy the show here tonight. Got Jerry tuning in from Tennessee. We got all sorts of folks chiming in here on the chat box. So here's your starting lineup for tonight's B main. We are going to have 11 cars to take the green flag. We're going to cut 3 of them at the end of the night. 12 laps will be the distance. We'll take the top 8. Jack Clevenger, Jeff Fitzpatrick going to be up on that front row. Jesse Bandy, Chad Cote will make up row number 2. Shane Pierce, Aiden Young out of the Rebels division tonight will make up row 3. Jeffrey Barker, Garrett Pepiot, the winner of tonight's C-Main in row 4. Row 5 will be Terry Landis and Chris Steele. And out back on the field will be the 46 of Joe Backus. Out of Crooks, South Dakota, aboard the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Dakota Ethanol Coast to Coast Racing, number 46. All right, here we go. So 12 laps is the distance. 11 cars, we're going to take 8. So as they work through turns 3 and 4, race fans, it's their last chance to make the big dance. Who's going to the 40-lap A-Main? Let's find out together. Oh, a couple of cars sideways in turn 1 and 2. Jeffrey Barker's going to lose all sorts of time aboard the 513. He is going to slide all the way back to position number 11, and look at this hornet's nest off turn number 4. And a bulk of these cars are in qualified spots right now. It seems like we bring it up almost every race we do here. These guys up at the front want to be real careful because they're solidly in the show right now. The one thing that they are racing for right now is a starting spot in the A-Main. Every car you pass here in the B is another position forward that you'll start in the A-Main. So that is definitely some of the urgency. And look at Pepiot down to the inside. My goodness. Pepiot, who started 7th. Oh, look out, Lando. Oh, look out, one car upside down in a big way. Who was that? It was Chris Steele. Steele loses the front wing. He'll continue on, and it's a wise move for him. You got to continue on. You never know what can happen in these qualifying alphabet soup races. I mean, if we get an incident with 2 or 3 cars collected, Steele, I know that car is not going to handle the way he wants it to, but he has got to keep that car moving just in case something happens ahead of him. So unfortunately for Brandon Scott, his driver right now on the outside looking in after a tough deal going into turn number 1. But right now, Brad Pepiot is the story. My goodness, started 8th. He's currently in the lead, and it did not take him long to get there. Took over the lead on lap number 3. As we'll watch Jesse Bandy in the 157 battling right there with Jeff Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with a fresh wrap on the 90 machine. Pretty cool to see that. Got some yellow on that car. Always the sharp-looking race car for Jeff Fitzpatrick. Driver out of the Vandyville Race Cars camp out of Blaine, Minnesota, as he battles on here with Terry Landis. And this is not something we're used to seeing. Terry Landis on the outside at Williams Grove. And he is absolutely ripping the cushion right now. Brings it off of turn 2. Landis will take over the 4 spot. So it gets him in the top 4 as Clevenger all the way down to the inside lane. And Clevenger is catching Pepiot. Oh, look out. Clevenger got all sorts out of shape going into turn number 1, and he is going to lose a ton of ground down the back straightaway. That's right on board with him there in the 78. Great shots from our executive producer, Brad Ovens, in the 3-9 Production Studios. And just like that, Cote drives around Clevenger like he was tied to a post. And now the Pink Flyer takes over the 2 spot. Cote recently moving over to the American Dirt Motorsports race team. In the Dirt Company Media House, Ram Designs, number 11. Down the back chute they go. Final lap here for Garrett Pepiot. And Pepiot almost knocked down the inside guardrail that time. As they bring it off turn 4, Garrett Pepiot's going to pick up the W here in tonight's B main. Second across the line will be Chad Cote. Jack Clevenger is 3rd. Jesse Bandy will come home 4th. Jeff Fitzpatrick rounds out the top 5. And your final transfer cars tonight will be Terry Landis, the 661, Joe Backus, the 46, and Aiden Young. How about that? Aiden Young transferred out of the Rebels race tonight, and he just qualified through the B main. Aiden Young is going to the A main with the Renegades tonight. All right, folks, quickly, we want to thank all of our great supporters here with the GForce Racing League Renegades. I want to send a shout out to Rick Scott and our good friends at the Strickland's GM location in Brantford, Ontario, Canada. If you're on the market for a new GM vehicle, be it a Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac, stop up and see Rick Scott and let them know the guys from the GForce Racing League sent you. We want to thank the Rivals Racing League, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey as well. And we also want to send shout-outs to Whispering Pines Getaway Airbnb for their sponsorship of Championship Night coming up on Monday, May 18th at the Volusia Speedway Park. And we're going to do something a little different here tonight. What kind of race event would it be without paying tribute to the national anthems of the countries in which these drivers are represented by here tonight? And I'm just getting word that Aiden Young actually came from the Raiders division tonight. He transferred through the Raiders race, got into the Rebels race, and now that he's transferred out of the Rebels race, now he's going A-Main racing with the Raiders. But we're going to take this time to step aside here. And if you're watching at home, if you really want to get that real simulation, I'd ask you to please rise. And ladies and gentlemen, remove your hats as we will start tonight's racing program with the Canadian National Anthem. So warm-up is on the racetrack right now. 5-minute session here for these drivers to test and tune a little bit on their race cars. See what they've got here for a full fuel load. So pretty cool story there with Aiden Young, as we will now step aside here for the Canadian National Anthem.
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
There you have it, Kaylee Zuloff with the Canadian National Anthem. She does such a great job with that, and she also does a very, very great job with the American National Anthem. We've got several drivers in the field tonight representing the red, white, and blue of the USA, and we will ask you to please remain standing for tonight's American National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Kaylee Zuloff with tonight's national anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the field gridded here on the front straightaway, and that means only one thing. It is time to go A-Main Racing here with the GForce Racing League Renegades division. My name is Steve Ovens. I'll be making the call for you here tonight. 40 laps is the distance tonight here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Brad Ovens pushing all the buttons for us in the 3-9 production studios. And ladies and gentlemen, here is tonight's starting lineup. Going away from position number 1, out of St. Louis, Missouri, the Cruise Shop sponsored ride of John Hine. Starting to his outside. Keep your eye on this guy tonight out of Kansas City, Missouri, the Renegades Racing Sim Racing Concepts ride. That is Scotty Edwards. Row 2 to the inside. Aboard car number 97 out of Bixby, Oklahoma. This is Brennan Lacey, and starting to his outside. Aboard car number 5 out of Burlington, Washington. That's Donovan Ross. Jonathan Short out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, the Epsilon Sprint Wraps number 51. We'll go away from position number 5 alongside David Flick out of Livingston, Montana in the Oshwegan Speedway number 56. Preston Cranmer in the Coast to Coast Racing number 07 will start alongside the Finsel Motorsports number 1 out of Ohio. That's Braden Finsel. Brandon Schultz, car number 193, will start 9th out of St. Paul, Minnesota, starting alongside the big dog Ryan Beagle out of Victoria, Ontario. Trevor Grabeau and Ross Carinta will make up row number 6 here tonight. Making up row number 7 will be Shane Kelly and Stephen Goldner. Row number 8 will be Lane Snook and Kyle Moonen. Row number 9 will be Garrett Papia and Chad Cote out of the B main. Jack Clevenger, Jesse Bandy make up row number 10. Jeff Fitzpatrick, Terry Landis make up row number 11. And your final starting row tonight will be Joe Backus and Aiden Young. Race fans, my good friend Gary Montgomery would always start the A main at his hometown racetrack this way, and this is how we started with the GForce Racing League. Race fans, it's time to sit down and hold on to your seats, because these men, by the grace of God, iRacing and 800 horsepower, are ready to go to work. The 40-lap A main is green. Oh, look out, trouble in turn number 3. One car upside down in a big way, and that's our first yellow flag of the night. So yellow lights are on. I did not catch what car that was, Brad, but boy, did they get some airtime over in turn number 3 and 4. Yeah, it's that car there at the back of the pack. Heavy front end damage there. So Brad Ovens going to take a peek here, see if we can find out just exactly what happened here. It's always tough here on these starts. Right off the drop of the green, everybody trying to fight for position a little bit, but at the same time, try to be as patient as you can to make sure you've got a race car to work with here at the end of the race. And there was a gaggle of them going into turn number 3. Let's take a look and see if we can see what happened. And it was Lane Snook. We're going to watch as he goes into turn number 3 here. Let's take a peek. Oh, Snook down to the inside. And Brad, it looked like he just caught the inside guardrail. I didn't see any other contact. And we're going to ride on board with him going into turn 3. And there it is. Boy, it's so easy to do here at Williams Grove. I mean, if you just misjudge it by a little bit. And, the thing that, as Lane's going down into the corner there, the thing that Lane's got on his mind is that this racetrack is slicking off, and it usually gives you a little opportunity to kind of slide that car into the corner. But, boy, it looked like his car just hooked a little bit more than what he expected it would. So lights are off on the Strickland Chevrolet Silverado. Strickland's GM, our presenting sponsor here of the Renegades division. And they are going to come back to green, and leading them back to the green flag is going to be Scotty Edwards. Scotty Edwards in the 23 out of Kansas City, Missouri. And lights are back. Lights are back on the pace car. It looked like we had a little bit of a lineup snafu there that we're trying to work through. Not just exactly sure what happened. I think what happened partly was Lane Snook came out of the pits at the time that the leaders were coming across the start-finish line, so it probably put him into line there with timing and scoring and kind of got everybody fumbled up here. But they are coming back to green, and the field's got to get it bunched up here. Coming back to green. It was only one lap of yellow. And Scotty Edwards off of turn 4 hits the trigger, and we're back underway. So Edwards going to lead him into turns 1 and 2, and he's going to let it drift all the way up to the outside. Look at the run that Donovan Ross has. Here comes Devo down the back straightaway. Donovan Ross, oh, look out. Scotty Edwards is loose. Almost gathered in Devo, and look at him. They're going to, oh, now he's got contact there from Schultz as things were happening fast. And somehow they keep them moving forward, and it looks like we stay under green. Oh, what a tough break there for Scotty Edwards as you look at the replay here. Oh, Schultz got a huge run on the outside lane. And Scotty, oh, look out. We've got contact here on the front straightaway. One car heavy into the front stretch wall. Joe Backus got a piece of that. Scotty Edwards got a piece of that. Wow. Crazy couple of laps here. Looks like Terry Landis got a piece of that one. He's coming down the pit lane. Oh, man. What a tough break for Scotty Edwards, who had such a good night going here so far. And, boy, Brett, it almost looked like it was... Aiden Young. That's too bad. Let's watch Aiden Young down the front straightaway, and it all happens in front of him, and he had nowhere to go. And look at that. What a heavy lick there for Aiden Young. Kind of the comeback story of the night. Transferred out of our rookie Raiders division. They race at 7 o'clock at night on a Monday night. The top 5 finishers go to the Rebels division, our B League. Aiden qualified into the B League tonight. He did so good in the B League. He finished top 5, and there you see the incident there. Contact between Edwards and Landis on the front straightaway. And that looked like it started coming off of turn 4, where the racetrack gets very, very slippery coming off the corner here at Williams Grove. And that's something that that you're probably going to see a lot more of the more laps that get put on this racetrack. We're now just 9 laps on the board. I think we're now going to make it 10 as they cross the line. And like I said, I think this is something you're going to see more. Guys get real loose. The whole back end of the car gets real light. So lights are off on the Chevrolet Silverado pace truck, coming back to green this time by. So field working through 3 and 4. Your new race leader is John Hine, the 71, out of St. Louis, Missouri, and they brings us back to green. So John Hine out of the Parabellum Motorsports team. John Hine, who's not really run up front in a lot of our GForce Racing League races. Oh, look out, contact there, right at the front of the pack. Shorty's around in the 51. He had help from behind. Everybody's checking up, and now more contact on the front straightaway. They'll keep them moving forward. We stay green. So now let's go back to the front of the pack, and John Hine leading this race. Brennan Lacey running in 2. And Ross Carenta in the 10 out of Fisher, Minnesota, runs in 3rd as you watch him race underneath the bridge down the back straightaway. Brandon Schultz now up to position number 4 after starting 9th, and he is starting to close in on your top 3 cars as they go to turn number 1. Look at Schultz all the way around I mean, you can't get any higher than Schultz is right now. As he closes in on Ross Carenta going into turn number 3. Schultz puts it on the top side. Here he comes around the outside of turn number 4. Got a little bit loose, and Carenta will hold on to the spot. That's the tricky part here at Williams Grove. You can get a monster run through turn 3. Even a bigger run off turns 1 and 2, and you just saw it as Schultz takes over the 3 spot as they go into turn number 3. But now watch that back end get real out of shape there on Schultz coming off the corner. But this is his bread and butter here on the top side. Look at him, saw on that wheel off at turn number 2. Battling for the 2 spot, and he'll take it into turn number 3. So Schultz is on the move. In the Vandybilt race cars, buyoil.com, number 193, and now he's going after the race lead. Hine had it, but only by 47 one-thousandths of a second. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. New race leader, it's Brandon Schultz. Car number 193 goes to the top of the board here on lap number 18. 18 are in, 22 to go. And now look at this 3-car battle for position number 2. Caution lights are on. Yellow lights are on for the 3rd time tonight here on lap number 19. And with that move on the outside, Brandon Schultz takes over the race lead. And it looks like Chad Cote got involved in this most recent incident aboard the 11 machine, the American Dirt Motorsports Dirt Company Media House sponsored ride. Oh, and there you see it. That is what put us under the yellow flag. Rough ride there for Cote as he got up on top of the guardrail, landing on the left side of the machine. And while we work under the yellow flag here, I know he's got some folks that are tuning in tonight on the YouTube page. Brandon Schultz, our race leader. Brandon Schultz, Steve Ovens up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, rim riding the outside lane up to the race lead. How much has this track changed since you guys took the green?
It's definitely gotten a lot slicker. I think I'm committed to the top because the car ain't worth a shit on the bottom, so we're just going to keep her up top and see what we can do.
Turn 4 seems to be the trickiest spot there in terms of it being slippery.
Yeah, she's pretty slick, especially coming off of 4. Yeah, we're just going to have to keep her out of the wall and do the best we can.
All right, buddy. Good luck the rest of the way here.
Thanks, guys.
So there's a word there with your race leader, Brandon Schultz, aboard the 193. As he brings them off turn number 4 and back to green, we're back underway here at Williams Grove. Field working. Oh my God, look at him. Here comes Ryan Beagle down to the bottom. The big dog just took 3 spots in the middle of 1 and 2. Oh, baby. Schultz might be in trouble, Brad. I know we've still got a long way to go, but Ryan Beagle, who clawed his way from the back of the pack into a qualified spot in the Rebels feature tonight, is chomping on the bottom, and he is just absolutely deadly here at Williams Grove. As Schultz continues to pound the top, I don't think Schultz is going to come off the top. I don't think Beagle's going to come off the bottom. And now Beagle is closing in down the back straightaway. You're right on board with Schultz as you look out the left rear side, the left rear tire of that car, and here comes Beagle down to the bottom, and the yellow lights come on. Caution is out here on lap number 25 with 15 to go. And Brad, the big question is going to be, where were they when the yellow came out in terms of the timing line? Because Beagle had a huge run down on the bottom. Brad's going to take a look and see what put us under this yellow flag. And I'm not sure, Brad, but I think Beagle may have gotten the race lead right before the yellow came out, as he was making a big move. Taking a look at Donovan Ross in car number 5. Oh, caught the opening of the guardrail on the back straightaway. Actually, it looked like maybe that was Kyle Moonen that caught the guardrail, and then Donovan Ross came in there, nowhere to go. Oh, and then they caught Jeff Fitzpatrick right there at the last second. Heavy front end damage there for Fitzpatrick. So Moonen is on the pit lane. Fitzpatrick is pacing with damage. And you've got a new race leader here at Williams Grove. So we have got 2 really, really awesome stories here tonight to show you just all about what this ladder system is all about with the GForce Racing League. Ryan Beagle qualified his way into the big show out of the Rebels race earlier tonight. He got caught up in an incident just past the halfway mark, fell all the way back to as far as 20th in the Rebels race, and clawed his way all the way up and took the 5th and final transfer spot off turn 4 on the final lap to beat out Connor Ross to the checkered flag. And then Aiden Young, driver that got caught up in an incident earlier, Young transferred through the Raiders race to get into the Rebels race. He transferred through that and then transferred into the A-Main here tonight. 2 awesome stories here to show you the power of the GForce Racing League. Green lights are back on. Another driver that qualified his way in through the Rebels race is now working the bottom lane and going after Brandon Schultz. That's the Michigan Madman, Garrett Pepiot. Pepiot down to the bottom. Yellow lights are back on. Cautions breed cautions here tonight at Williams Grove. So yellow lights on here, 29 laps on the board. 11 to go. And a little bit of contact there. Brennan Lacey involved. Is that David Flick? Okay. David Flick and Fitzpatrick's cars have a similar appearance now. I have to look real close to see just which car it is. As the field works down the back straightaway under the yellow flag here. 30 laps are on the board and we have 10 to go. Guy that's had a little bit of a tough night. We don't get to talk to him a whole lot. I want to bring him into the booth here. Terry Landis, who knows Williams Grove Speedway like the back of his hand. Terry, I know it's been a little bit of a rough night tonight, but tell us about trying to navigate this Williams Grove Speedway.
This is one of the best tracks on the circuit, I think. You got to be really careful running down low. You got to use a little brake, and if you want to run it up high, just wind it up.
We've seen you running up on the top tonight. I almost spit my water out. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, I know. I was following Jeff Fitz there in the beam main, and he was running down low. I got to try something to pass him, so I went up, took it to the high.
All right, buddy. Good luck here on this restart. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, there's Terry Landis. We call him Yoo-Hoo. He's got Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink on the side of his car. Always a good time talking to Terry here, and pretty good insight here at Williams Grove. It's one of his favorite tracks, hands down. And Beagle, no surprise here with a monster restart for Beagle, finding the moisture down on the inside of the racetrack. And interestingly enough, Pepiot went to the outside that time in turns 1 and 2. So now Pepiot up top, Schultz is up top, Beagle's down on the bottom. I think Beagle's got the dominant line here for the rest of this race. He is so good here at Williams Grove. He's got several feature wins here with the GForce Racing League at Williams Grove, and now Garrett Pepiot trying to track him down, really rim-riding the top side of the racetrack. As you're riding on board with him here. Off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Look out, Schultz had contact there with Pepiot. And now Pepiot trying to chip into Ryan Beagle's lead. 35 laps are now on the board, 5 to go. 4 fingers and a thumb that time from the head starter. As Ryan Beagle, who started 10th tonight, with the lead. Garrett Pepiot started 17th. He's up to 2nd, and now here comes Brandon Schultz down to the bottom. Didn't expect to see that, but Schultz has got to try something here at the end to try and give these guys a little bit of a run. Schultz not super happy with his race car here tonight. You see him get a little loose off turn 2 there. And now Schultz will go down to the bottom in 3 and 4, and look how close to the implement tires he was. Pepiot trying to fend him off. Schultz and Pepiot do battle. Here with 2 laps to go. Make it 3 to go. As Beagle works down the back straightaway. Schultz down on the bottom, Pepiot on the top. Great battle for the 2nd spot. Going into turn number 3. Coming down to the line. Popsicle sticks are in the air for the big dog. Out of Victoria, Ontario, Canada. Trying to pick up another win at Williams Grove here with the GForce Racing League. While Pepiot works the cushion. Schultzy down on the bottom. White flag coming out this time by off turn number 4, and it is for Ryan Beagle. White flag is out, presented by 3-9 Productions, and it is all Ryan Beagle out front. 2.1 seconds the advantage. That time by as Schultz closes in on Pepiot. This is going to be an exciting finish here for 2nd. Schultzy now goes to the top side. Pepiot down to the bottom. Schultz hits the guardrail. Ryan Beagle is going to win at Williams Grove. Pepiot will hold on to 2, and Brandon Schultz will bring the 193 home in 3rd. Steven Goldner raced his way from 14th to finish 4th, and Ross Carinta, who started 12th tonight, will round out your top 5 finishers. So we will work on getting your top 3 cars here into victory lane to get a word with them, as it is Ryan Beagle pulling down the big win here tonight. So we've got Beagle, there's Garrett. All right. So let's head down trackside here. Oh, looks like we lost Ryan Beagle there for a second. Well, anyway, we'll work on getting Ryan Beagle back here with us, but we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher tonight.
Cool night.
And that, of course, was Brandon Schultz. And Brandon, I know the car wasn't just exactly to your liking here tonight, but still able to come home with a top 3 run at the end of this one.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Could have been better, but yeah, we'll take it. Top 3 is nothing to complain about. So yeah, we'd like to be in the number 1 spot, but third's fine.
What is the big thing that we're going to leave tonight with notes as this is where we needed to be better tonight?
Just maybe a little bit different of a gear. I don't know. We had a lot of fuel in the car too. I think we finished with quite a bit more than we should have, but I just didn't want to run out. We were close last week at Knoxville, so I don't know. Just tighten up the car a little bit off corner. Try to find some more traction out there.
Very good, man. Well, you had a solid run. Led some laps here tonight. Did it surprise you to see Beagle down there on the bottom? He was unbelievable down there.
No, Ryan's always good on the bottom. He's really tough to beat on a track that really likes the bottom. So yeah, I really wasn't surprised to see him. I knew he was coming. It was just a matter of time because that top was getting worse and worse, and I knew if it went to the bottom, he'd definitely be trying to get around me.
Well, great job for you to finish on the podium here tonight. Tell us about the folks that helped make it happen for you.
I was just going to thank Jesse Bandy, Jeff Fitzpatrick, Trevor Graybow, Kyle Moonen, JP, all the guys back at the shop on the team, Bandy Built Race Cars, Buy Oil, Next Level Designs, Jim Emery does awesome work. Mom and Dad for watching, you guys for broadcasting, and hopefully the fans got to see a good show tonight.
I think they did. Great job tonight. You were definitely a part of it.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, there's Brandon Schultz. Comes home in position number 2 here, or position number 3 tonight. And now we'll bring in Garrett Pepia, driver of the 47. Another one of the drivers that transferred in through the Rebels tonight. Garrett, congratulations, man.
Hey, thank you.
Tell us about your run. You had some work to do tonight, coming from position number 17 to get yourself up to second.
Yeah, in my heat race, I stepped on my own foot and hit the wall there and won. My car turned in, and I wasn't ready for that. But, I persevered and finished first in the C and B and did what I needed to do in the A main.
The strength of your car there at the end really started to show because you were trying to make moves on the bottom and on the top, and it looked like your car was pretty good everywhere you put it there toward the end.
Yeah, about halfway, I was still sitting on 17th, and I was kind of getting frustrated following some people, so I put her on the high side and both ends, and she was flying, and I moved up relatively quick, and wish I moved up a little bit sooner. I would have had something for Beagle.
Tell us, running that high side, turn 4 can be so tricky here when it gets slippery. How slippery was it out there tonight?
It was pretty slippery. You got to be very vigilant on the throttle getting out, but once you get over that hump, it's hammered down. My problem was going into 3 there. I don't like going into 3. I mean, that wall has some bouts under our belt.
Well, man, you and Brandon Schultz put on a great show there at the end, and a great effort for you tonight, transferring through the 8:15 race tonight. Tell us about all the folks that helped make it happen for you on the 47.
Oh, everybody at Parabellum Motorsports, John and Bryce, Lucius. We practiced today, and they helped me out a lot, and thank you guys for streaming and High Side Graphics. There's a couple more, but I can't remember at this moment.
Pretty solid effort for John Hine tonight, too, finishing in 7th and starting on the pole, running top 5 for a little bit. He had a great night as well.
Yeah, I was very happy with his performance. He did really well in the heat, and he held his own in the A main, and he got a lot of more experience under his belt, and I'm very happy for him. Good
deal, man. We'll see you next week.
Yep, you too.
All right, there's Garrett Pepia coming home in position number 2. And let's bring this guy in here. My goodness. Bottom side at Williams Grove, Ryan Beagle to the race win. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, really.
Yeah, that was we had a good run here tonight. I didn't expect to get to the front, but there's a lot of good competition tonight, so we'll take it.
Tell me about that move off of turn 2. I think you passed 4,000 cars coming off turn 2. I mean, that car, you lit the tires up and drove by everybody like they were in second gear. I mean, it was incredible.
I don't know. Everything's kind of a blur when you're trying to get through the pack like that, so I'm not even sure when that happened. But getting off a 2 is kind of it's different because some guys, if you miss the bottom, it makes a big difference. So if you can hit it, you can pass a lot of cars.
And it seems like turn 4 is much of the same in terms of making sure that you hit the moisture coming off the corner because, boy, we've said it all night long. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse tonight, but turn 4 gets so slippery here at Williams Grove at the end of the night that, yeah, if you don't hit it good off 4, you're maybe even in more trouble than turn 2.
Yeah. 4, the only thing left is on the bottom, so that's what I aim for, and seems to work pretty good.
Well, man, a great run for you. Now, just getting the win tonight, that's only part of your story tonight. You came out of the Rebels division, went all the way back to where I was late in the feature, and then I watched this red blur 4084 headed to the front. Come to find out, the damn guy gets 5th place at the line, man. You had a busy night.
Yeah, that was a bit messy. I think I got mad after I got right hooked into the fence there, so I've seen a bit of red myself. So,
all right, drivers, be warned. If you piss the big dog off, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, man, great effort tonight. It was really entertaining to watch. It's always fun to get to talk to you after these races, and I know that you guys have been doing some more racing with the Friday Night Eye excitement, and that's been a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure that's been fun to participate in.
Yeah, it's neat just to race with some familiar names from the racetrack. So hopefully Eldora this week is a good show. Yeah.
Well, good luck to you with that, and a great job tonight. Tell us about the folks you'd like to mention here in Victory Lane.
I just got to thank RK Automotive, APC Auto Parts, and Thompson Landscape Supply, and the crew guys for getting the backup car off the trailer after I wrecked it after the heat race.
Yeah, man, they had a little bit of work to do between the Rebels and the Renegades tonight, but
it was a busy night.
Good job, man. I'm sure a few extra beers will help them out.
Yep. Beer solves just about everything.
All right, buddy. Great job tonight.
Thanks.
All right, there's Ryan Beagle, our feature winner tonight here at the Williams Grove Speedway. Man, Ryan's just one of them. Brandon Schultz is another. Garrett finishing on the podium tonight. These drivers, man, what an absolute blast to be able to call these guys as races and to have a little fun with them after the races are over. I hope that the amount of fun that we have here with the GForce Racing League comes through the broadcast because this group is just a wildly talented group of drivers. And I say it all the time, and I'll say it again tonight. I would put these drivers in the GForce Racing League up against anybody on the iRacing platform. There's so much talent, and I can't say enough about the ladder system. We saw it in progress tonight. We saw a young driver, Aiden Young, come all the way from the rookie Raiders division tonight to qualify into the A-Main. Beagle takes the last transfer spot in the Rebels to come to the Renegades and then takes everybody to the woodshed here in the A-Main. I mean, it's just awesome stuff. Be sure to visit us online at GForceRL.com. That's for the GForce Racing League website online. Be sure to visit us there. I want to send a shout out to Roger Craig from the GForce Racing League, all of his staff that do such a great job here putting these league races on and having us be a part of it. Want to thank the Rivals Racing League, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey for having us aboard of all of the Rivals and GForce Racing League, GForce TV. And I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Strickland's GM in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, our presenting sponsor of the Renegades division. And also a shout out to Whispering Pines Getaway Airbnb, who is sponsoring our championship night coming up at Volusia Speedway Park on May 18th. You're not going to want to miss it. Next Monday night, just after 9:30 p.m., we're headed to the dirt track at Charlotte. Always a good race there at the dirt track. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte, and that's where we're headed next. Big shout out to our executive producer, Brad Ovens in the 3-9 Production Studios for doing a great job here tonight. And that's going to do it. Here from the Williams Grove Speedway in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, congratulations to the big dog, Ryan Beagle, winner tonight with the GForce Racing League Renegades. From Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, my name is Steve Ovens saying thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week from Concord, North Carolina. Good night, everybody.
This is a copyrighted production of 3-9 Productions, www.39designcompany.com, and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of 3-9 Productions. The opinions expressed in this programming are those of the host, co-host, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and/or ownership of either 3-9 Productions, the advertisers, or our marketing partners.